Oh, but there's no way Jynxzi donated $1 million.
Oh god,
That's crazy, Jynxzi.
Dude, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I just feel like in this.
Dude, I remember this like it was yesterday, bro. When was this? Like 8 months ago?
Particular group of people, bro, you got the least liquidity.
I've been seeing these clips of Jynxzi everywhere lately, and something about them just feels off because at first it looks like normal streamer chaos, people joking, talking over each other, nothing serious, but then you watch another clip, and it's the same thing, different stream, same energy. He's getting ignored, talked over, put in weird situations live in front of everyone, and the more you watch, the harder it is to brush it off as random because it keeps happening. Moments where people call him out, moments where he's running things but somehow has no control, even times where people just get up and leave midstream like he's not even there. And the craziest part is he doesn't react. Not really. He just laughs it off and keeps going. And at first that feels like maturity, like he's above the drama. But the more you think about it, the more it starts to feel like something else because when nobody pushes back, people don't stop. They push it further. And once you notice that pattern, you can't unsee it. And this is where it stops feeling random and starts getting genuinely uncomfortable because the next moment makes everything way harder to ignore. And it happens during that collab with Kai Cenat, which on paper should have been a huge win for Jynxzi. He set it up, organized everything, brought multiple creators together, the kind of stream that's supposed to run smoothly and elevate everyone involved. But the second it starts, something feels off. Not in an obvious way at first, just small things. People cutting him off mid-sentence, talking over him, not really listening to what he's trying to do. And as the stream goes on, those small things start stacking up, turning into something much more noticeable because now it's not just interruptions, it's full-on chaos. And you can actually hear Jynxzi trying to hold it together, trying to guide the session, trying to bring some structure back, but nothing is landing. It's like he's there physically, but not really in control of what's happening. And the longer it goes on, the clearer it becomes that nobody is really taking him seriously in that moment. And then it gets worse, because right in the middle of everything, Kai just gets up and leaves. No warning, no explanation, no "I'll be back." Nothing. He just walks off and disappears, and now Jynxzi is left sitting there live, in front of thousands of viewers trying to process what just happened while still keeping the stream going. And you can feel how awkward it is. That silence, that confusion, that moment where everything just hangs. And what really makes it stand out is what happens after. Or more accurately, what doesn't happen, because no one calls it out. No one checks the behavior. No one even really acknowledges how strange that was. It just moves on like it's normal, like it's just part of the stream. And that's the moment where everything starts to shift. Because when something like that happens publicly, and there's still no reaction, it sends a clear message, not just to the people involved, but to everyone watching, that there are no real boundaries here. And once that idea sets in, people don't hold back anymore. They start pushing things further, testing how much they can get away with, and that's when the pattern stops being subtle and starts becoming impossible to ignore. And this is the point where it stops feeling accidental and starts looking intentional. And it all comes together in the situation involving Clix. Because this time it's not just someone talking over Jynxzi or ignoring him, it's someone actively using him for content. And you can tell it's calculated because during a live stream, Clix posts a picture involving Jynxzi's girlfriend publicly, knowing exactly what kind of reaction it's going to get, knowing it's going to create clips, attention, and engagement.
Show me your call. Show me your call. Listen,
Yes, thank you, AJ. The disrespect not only to us, but to Jynxzi. To Jynxzi, you're disrespecting Jynxzi's tournament. You're disrespecting Jynxzi.
I asked you, Clix, what picture did you show chat? What picture did you show chat an hour ago?
All right. PayPal, Venmo.
No. Clix, what picture did you show chat an hour ago?
I didn't show any pictures.
I know Ron didn't. Clix, what picture did you show chat an hour ago?
Clix actually just sees it. You can hear the difference. He's still trying to stay composed, still trying to keep things calm, but this isn't something he can just laugh off like before because now it's personal. And instead of ignoring it, he actually addresses it directly, asks for it to be taken down, asks for an apology, which is a completely reasonable response, but even then it doesn't get taken seriously. It gets brushed off, laughed at, treated like it's just part of the content. And that's what makes this moment different from everything before. Because now it's clear that people aren't just accidentally crossing lines. They know exactly what they're doing. They know they can push him, get a reaction, and still face no real consequences. And once that becomes the expectation, it changes everything. Because it doesn't just affect one interaction. It sets a tone for everyone else watching. showing them that there's no real limit, no real boundary. And from that point on, the behavior doesn't just continue, it escalates. Because when people know they can get away with something, they don't stop, they push it even further. And when you step back and look at everything together, this is where it really starts to click. Because it's not just one moment, not just one person. It's a pattern that keeps repeating in completely different situations. And that's what makes it hard to ignore, because now you're not just looking at a clip here or there, you're seeing the same outcome play out over and over again. Jynxzi organizes tournaments and people don't show up. Not late, not delayed, just completely gone with no message, no warning, leaving him to fix everything live in front of his audience. And it doesn't happen once, it happens multiple times, and at the same time, you've got games he helped revive starting to blow up again, player numbers going up, communities growing, but somehow he's not the one getting credit for it. And even within his own community, small moments turn into criticism. People start switching up over things that don't really match the impact he's had, and when you put all of that together, it stops feeling like bad luck and starts feeling consistent. Like the same result is happening no matter the situation. And that points to something deeper, because the common factor in all of this isn't the people involved, it's the lack of consequences. There's no pushback, no accountability, no moment where the behavior gets checked. And when that happens, people get comfortable, they repeat it. They push it a little further each time. And over time, those moments stack up and turn into a pattern. And once a pattern like that is established, it doesn't fix itself. It keeps growing until something forces it to change. And this is where everything flips, because up until this point, Jynxzi had been letting things slide, keeping it calm, not really addressing anything directly, but then he finally speaks on it. And not in some loud, dramatic way, just calmly, honestly, breaking down how that stream with MrBeast actually felt from his side. And that's what makes it hit differently, because he's not attacking anyone. He's just pointing out how uncomfortable it was, how people were being put on the spot to donate in front of massive audiences. And for the first time, you start to see things from his perspective instead of just watching clips. And here's where the twist comes in, because instead of people brushing it off like before, other creators start backing him up. Aden Ross admits it went too far. XQC says it felt off. And now it's not just one voice anymore, it's multiple. And that changes everything, because suddenly the narrative shifts. People who were laughing at those moments before start going back and rewatching them differently, connecting the dots, realizing this wasn't just random entertainment. It was a pattern that had been building the whole time. And once that realization hits, the same behavior that used to go unnoticed doesn't land the same anymore. It starts getting called out, questioned, criticized, and that's when it really starts to backfire. Because the people who were pushing those moments before now have an audience that's actually paying attention. And when the audience changes, everything changes, because now there's something that wasn't there before, accountability. And once that enters the picture, the entire dynamic shifts. And when you really think about it, this was never just one moment, it was a pattern that kept building because nobody stopped it. And for a while it worked. People pushed boundaries, got reactions, and nothing came back at them. But that only lasts so long, because once people start noticing, everything changes. Those same moments don't feel funny anymore, they feel different. They get questioned, and that's where it backfires. Not from one big event, but from a shift in how everything is seen. And once that shift happens, there's no going back, because now there's a cost. And if you've been following this and want more real breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe, because there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than people realize.